If we're talking about a celebrity endorsement or a partner, Gordon Ramsay is the guy in cookware.
You have a very good insight into the business and the actual different levers of growth that we have.
So we had a few conversations and instantly knew that we wanted to work with you guys. But the growth rate just progressed. If you guys are catching problems before they arise, suggesting strategies even before we think of them, and then implementing them.
What's up, guys, and thanks for joining. My name's Ken. I'm the CEO here at Full Circle, and today I'm so honored to be joined by Niall Slavin, the COO of Hexclad, the world-famous cookware brand. Niall, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Just for the record, it is July 16th, 2024, or as I like to say, Prime Day, and we're absolutely having an incredible Prime Day, so it's just the perfect time to have you on. Wanted to hop in with a couple questions here and learn more about Hexclad. I mean, you guys went from perhaps humble beginnings, maybe not, and now you're absolutely crushing a household name with world famous partnerships. Can you talk about the journey of Hexclad and where your own career kind of plugged into that?
When I joined Hexclad, same office we're in right now, we had a warehouse, 40,000 square foot warehouse. That was it from our fulfillment, just like warehousing footprint. We had a small corporate team of, I want to say 5 professionals and probably less. We were a sizable operation, and I was shocked to see how big of an operation this was, or how big the sales were, with such a small team and virtually no technology integration, no standard best practices you would see at a company of this size, which made it a lot of fun. You know, I came on when we were still, again, doing double-digit millions and operating at a company doing a few $100,000. That's just like the organizational development we were at. And it's been fun to ramp up. You know, I'd love to take credit and say that, hey, you know, all the work we've done in actually building a really resilient operation and best-in-class marketing and content led the growth, and I think it played a huge part, but ultimately having a great product that's really driven us to the success we've seen.
Can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, Hexclad has patented technology and it's just a phenomenal product as is, and at the same time, the marketing efforts combined with this phenomenal product are probably the reason for your tremendous growth. Can you talk about how Hexclad was formed?
We have 2 founders. They were in the cookware industry for, around 20 years, and they developed this new cooking surface on a pan that has never existed before. What it was is a combination of stainless steel and non-stick. Stainless steel just has great heat distribution. You can sear your foods, you can sear your proteins, right? Get that golden brown sear. You can use metal spatulas and a knife, throw around your stainless steel pans, and they'll last forever. You probably have a set of your grandmother's stainless steel pans somewhere in your attic. Non-stick pans are just like easier. I live alone. If you're cooking for yourself every day, it's a hassle to be scrubbing burnt food off of a stainless steel pan. The issue with non-stick is it doesn't cook very well. Heat does not distribute evenly through the pan, and they're also very fragile. As soon as you use a knife or a metal spatula in that pan, it's going to damage it right away, and that coating is just going to come right off. And also the longevity of the non-stick properties, depending on the coating, but generally only a few years. But even then, because it lacks the durability, it just does not last. So our founders actually found the perfect solution for this problem. It took a few years to develop, and it's been a game changer and really adds value to the everyday chef, the professional chef.
Everyone on Twitter and all the D2C community, you can talk about all the marketing strategies in the world, but if it doesn't start off with a phenomenal product that hopefully is revolutionary, you're kind of going uphill. It's like an uphill battle the whole time, right? You know, Hexclad is kind of the cookware brand of choice by world famous chef Gordon Ramsay. Everyone in this day and age is talking about influencers and, you know, want to make partnerships with the brands, and you guys just had a total slam dunk when it comes to having a premium price cookware brand and associating it, making that partnership with Gordon Ramsay in some way. In any way, can you talk about how that came about, and then also like how that transformed the brand? Were you already a part of the company before that partnership took place?
I was a part of the company. It was really exciting for me because I knew there was a lot of opportunity for the brand. I could see it already from day one, even before I joined. The reason I joined is because I saw the opportunity, but this was a game changer, right? I could have never predicted this. And I also could have never asked for such an exciting opportunity. I mean, if we're talking about a celebrity endorsement or a partner, Gordon Ramsay is the guy in cookware.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the guy in virtually any category. He would be the guy. You can have like a skateboarding company. If you got Gordon Ramsay to support it, like he could add value to any brand. It wasn't that we just reached out to Gordon Ramsay and thought, hey, we need a celebrity endorsement. Let's have Gordon Ramsay be our guy. I think that would have been very ambitious. I don't think that would have worked out. I don't think anyone in Hexclad would have ever thought that Gordon Ramsay would be a partner to this company. It happened actually organically because he started using our products in his videos, and he started following us and liking our posts on social media. And this is him, by the way. This isn't his team. This is actually him doing this. So one thing led to another. There were some conversations that happened, and he wanted to be an investor in the company.
That's incredible. Yeah, when I think of like great partnerships in history, it's like, you know, Michael Jordan with Nike is just this, you know, match made in heaven. And I think in its own way, Gordon Ramsay and Hexclad is just incredible to see. It's very, very cool to be a part of it in our own way. Also, you know, when we began working together, Full Circle and Hex on Amazon, I believe you were in the chief of staff role, and you've since become the COO of HexClad, which congratulations, that's just absolutely incredible. I myself am always considering the best use of my time and how to focus my energy to find the most high leverage activities that you do in the day to day and what a day in the life of a COO of HexClad looks like.
I've been around since, I don't want to say the very beginning, but a lot of the teams and departments and just practices we have at the company is I was fortunate enough to be able to build because we didn't have people. I remember after I joined, I built our Amazon account and I was staying up until midnight every night responding to customer tickets in Zendesk, doing customer service. Like angry customers were reaching out to us and I was literally responding to them and coordinating return shipments for customers. I've kind of done it all. I still kind of do, and it's not efficient too, so I'm learning how to delegate. When I joined for the first year or two, there was no delegation because I didn't have any resources or staff. I was doing it all, and luckily I had a great boss, our president, Jason Panza, who brought me on. We came from a very similar background. He's the same way. He likes to get his hands dirty and work. So we were a really small team, and over time, you're exactly right. I can't do everything, right? So I've learned to delegate my time. I spent a lot of time on Amazon. Where are the customers seeing us, learning about our brand, purchasing from us, and then I go in the back end. We have a very limited number of sales channels. We sell our products in 3 places: Costco, Amazon, our own website, and Shopify. We've got a full team of stellar professionals focused on Shopify. I don't really see the need for myself to be involved in the day-to-day anymore, just because I can delegate and lean on our professionals. Costco got a stellar team too. I'm a little more involved there. And then Amazon, as you know, we've got one guy, Justin, who's killing it, but it's kind of a one-man shop. So I spend a lot of time on Amazon. I have a relationship with a lot of stakeholders internally in Amazon, and I just see it as like almost an extension of Shopify, right? We're generating demand.
Certainly.
That demand was primarily coming to our own website, but a lot of that spills over to Amazon. And we want to make sure we capture them as quickly as possible, apply all of the conversion rate theory we've learned from operating our own website to Amazon. I also spend a lot of my time in financial reporting, cash management, budgeting, forecasting, and budgeting around the business within departments, our operations, our supply chain, manufacturing. We've got several different manufacturers, fulfillment. We've got 3 fulfillment centers now that may turn into 5 at some point. Our international development, we launched into Europe 2 years ago, both in the UK and EU. We launched into Canada e-commerce last year in, I want to say November. We've already been in Canada, Costco. Launched in Australia in September last year. Launched in Japan. Right now we're working on an eventual China launch. Also working on a South America, a Mexico launch. So that's also eating up a lot of my time. I guess
Niles has just listed every aspect of a business you can imagine, from customer service to international expansion, fulfillment. So that's what it takes.
Instead of having a daily routine, I just like to focus where there's opportunity to either improve a process or for us to just make a strategic move that's outside of the status quo, right? So we're talking about launching into a new territory. The entire C-suite needs to be focused. We're talking about daily management of like our Amazon page. I don't have to be involved, but we're talking about Prime Day or optimizing is what you guys do often. You know, that's the sexy stuff that I want to be involved with to make sure that we can progress the business and not just maintain the status quo.
Incredible. Yeah, I really see that from you guys. And I also see from working together for this last 15 months or so that you have a very good insight into the business and the actual different levers of growth that we have. So you've been working with us. I've been honored to work with HexClad, with Full Circle for the last 15 months or so. Can you talk about the decision to partner with an agency and Full Circle in particular?
Most brands, it doesn't make sense to have that internal team. And that's something that we've thought about over time. We have this all internal. And the answer that I always come to is for Amazon, no, just because it probably makes more sense. We would lose the market intel. If I were to build a team internally, no one on our team and not myself, we are not Amazon experts. We're on the brand side, right? I would say we are brand experts. When it comes to Amazon, we're not living and breathing Amazon PPC every single day. And to be able to build a team that does, that's just a lot of resource for a smaller brand. Sure, you could say at our scale, we probably are at the scale where we could do that. I don't know strategically it would make a lot of sense. So at the time, my decision was I'd rather have an expert who has done this successfully with other brands and can be applying those learnings to HexClad. And if we just look at a silo and we try to do it ourselves, we lose that element of like understanding what's market, what works for other companies, what tests have worked or failed for other companies. So just like that, Intel was a big part of the decision to outsource this. If we were looking at different agencies to work with us, we wanted a turnkey situation where we wanted a best-in-class team that not only could just manage things smoothly, operationally, avoid the headaches, avoid the disruptions, but also optimize. We've been on Amazon for about 2 years and we wanted to do more. We wanted to continue the growth. I think we were fairly complacent in PPC. We wanted someone to be constantly pushing the envelope on PPC testing. Jason said great things about you. We were talking to a few other agencies. He said, hey, I just talked to Sean from Ridge. I know this guy. He's amazing. You got to talk to him. I think this is going to be our guy. And I thought like, hey, well, we're talking to a few other people. Like we've got this covered. We don't need to add a third person to the mix, right? And then Jason gave me the background and everything you guys have done. I thought, okay, we need these guys here. We had a few conversations and instantly knew that we wanted to work with you guys. And honestly, it was like from like day one, the instant turnaround on our Amazon business. The growth rate just progressed as soon as you guys started. I think it was before Prime Day, we had a killer Prime Day. And then it didn't slow down after Prime Day. It just continued. And I realized that it was like Pandora's box. There was so much to do that you guys were bringing to the table and to optimize the overall Amazon operation that it was a great move. All super happy. I was just talking to Justin yesterday. He was just telling me about how great your team is again.
Awesome. We appreciate you guys and Justin's kind words. And a recommendation from Sean Frank goes a long way too. So I think when I first met Jason, the president of HexClad, he said I passed the Sean test. So he said that was enough. And we had a good talk from there. You know, the scale that HexClad operates on, this is my $1 million seller hat of an elite group of Amazon sellers. There's very different levels of business though. Someone in a low 7-figure range to an 8-figure business to a 9-figure business. I mean, there's just many different levels, and then what that looks like from an operational standpoint. And when it comes to Amazon specifically, I mean, running a huge business like HexClad in multiple markets, United States, Canada, all across Europe, fully international is a huge operation, requires a ton of cohesion between teams. And it's been an honor to work with you guys the last 15 months and hopefully for the ongoing future as well. And it's helped us level up our skill and professionalism. And we've learned a lot and learned a lot from your team. So we certainly appreciate that. Can you speak as well, as I'm saying, seeing some record numbers, which is amazing to see. What does Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the sort of holiday Christmas sales, what do these peak shopping events mean to sort of premium priced luxury brands like HexClad? And how do you see them in your own way, and what sort of preparation on your end is required? We certainly do a lot of prep on our end to make sure that we crush it for these dates on Amazon.
It's interesting you bring that up because over time it's shifted. We're operating in the premium space, both in price point, but also in quality of product. Typically companies in the premium space, you don't see them going on sales off, especially look at like luxury brands. How often is Gucci running a flat sale? It's pretty rare. And there's a lot of just wisdom conventionally that this is damaging to a luxury brand. I think that's changed a lot over the year. I think we may have been one of the first to actually change that, but it's really changed, and a lot of luxury brands are actually now like realizing that they're missing a huge opportunity by not going on sale and applying these e-commerce best practices in terms of taking advantage of these holidays. For us, Prime Day is one of the biggest days on Amazon. It is so important to our brand. Without giving any confidential numbers, if you just look at the spike that we get on a day like this, we work months in advance to make sure we are planning properly, both operationally to get the product into Amazon. To have enough product manufactured to then bring it in and get it into Amazon is a headache in itself, and that's a lot of work to make sure it's done properly. We've missed that in the past. But then also to prepare on Amazon and off Amazon to make sure that customers are aware of this holiday and they're there and they're ready to shop without preventing, by the way. What these do is sometimes people will wait for the sale, and there's the effect where they won't shop before the sale in the month, 2, 3 before the sale because they know that big sale is coming. And we don't want that to happen. And we've done a great job mitigating that. Our strategy, without giving away our secret sauce, is to maintain a really strong volume before the sale and then have that big spike. I think if you look at our numbers today, you certainly have. We've done a great job at doing that. Today, so far, the numbers are huge. Prior to Prime Day, the numbers were great too. But it also adds a lot of risk for a lot of brands. And that's why I feel very comfortable working with your team. In general, we've got a great team on this, internal to HexClad and external and Full Circle, because if this is not planned properly, this is a really big risk for a brand. Imagine if you were a small brand and you're expecting to 10x your volume over Prime Day, and you don't, you only 2x your volume. Then guess what's happened? You're stuck with a lot of inventory. You're paying a lot of money for that inventory on Amazon. A lot of e-commerce brands are really cash strapped. That could be really damaging for a brand. So you have to know going into it that if you're going to plan for that 10x spike in volume, you've got to be really certain that's going to happen. You've got to have the right team in place. You have to have the right planning in place. So I felt very comfortable leading into Prime Day. I feel very comfortable right now, and I hope we'll be celebrating tomorrow night on the results.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say from the perspective of an Amazon agency, like Full Circle, like myself, Prime Day and all these peak sales, it's like being in the war room. Full round the clock coverage, making sure all of our listings are live and active. We've got a Prime Day badge on all the listings that we're expecting, all of our best practices from a PPC perspective. I was talking to so many of my very experienced Amazon friends, and they weren't getting their inventory checked in early enough, which is just kind of a rookie mistake in some ways, right? So just so many things that have to go very well to execute these peak shopping events. And so far, I've been very happy with the results today and the previous shopping events as well that we've had with HexClad and of course our other brands as well. Last thing I would like to ask, for any brands, especially high 7, 8, or 9-figure brands that are kind of on the fence and they're debating whether they should bring in their Amazon channel in-house. Some even debate whether they should even be on Amazon because they worry about the cannibalizing of all of their sales from their D2C side. What would you say about what Amazon means to a brand like HexClad or a brand of the similar scale of HexClad? And if you would recommend them working with an agency like Full Circle perhaps?
So let's start with, if you're a cookware brand or a kitchenware brand, I would not not recommend going on Amazon.
There's no
There's a lot
chance.
of competition there. Just leave it to xCloud. They've got it. But any other category, you've got to be on Amazon. That's where the consumer is shopping. Is it nearly 50% of all e-commerce transactions are occurring on Amazon? You have to be there. It's a detriment to not be there. We were the first, I want to say the first major cookware brand on Amazon. We launched on Amazon. I took a look at all of our competitors. I made as big of a list as I could just to see who was there. No one was there. It was only resellers. That's the other thing. If you decide not to be on Amazon, your product is likely still being sold on Amazon. And the customer isn't able to tell if you are selling it or if it's being sold by some reseller who's got a warehouse somewhere.
And they're searching for your brand and perhaps just buying someone else's product, right? Who's bidding on your brand and search volume.
Exactly. You want to be able to control the customer experience. And if you're not there, you're not controlling it. Really important, I think, for every brand to be on Amazon and to be controlling that. And if you're going to be there as well, a lot of brands do the bare minimum on Amazon. And I think it's foolish because they spend so much time and investment on their website where they control the content and they have a lot more flexibility of what they can show the customer and the customer journey. You don't have that on Amazon. You can't just create an Amazon page exactly as you see fit, but Amazon, you can use their tools, you can use their templates, and you want to best control that experience because, again, 50% of your consumers could be shopping on Amazon. If you're not giving them the best experience possible, they can easily go to a competitor. You can lose a sale on Amazon. If someone goes to our website with the intent to buy cookware, we're not losing them. Our competitors are not running ads on our website. On Amazon, they certainly are. So if we are not really careful, that can happen. So I think it's really important to have a really strong team on Amazon, right? And to be giving it focus. As the COO, I give Amazon a lot of my time and focus because that's where the customer is shopping. We can do everything right. And if we don't have the best content on Amazon, if we're not running really effective PPC campaigns, we're going to be losing market share. We can't control it, and we do. And that's why we have a great team in place. So I would recommend to everyone to have a great team in place. And you guys have been a wonderful partner to us. I feel like we can fully rely on you guys. You guys are catching problems before they arise. You guys are suggesting strategies even before we think of them and then implementing them.
Awesome, Niles. Well, I really appreciate your time today. xCloud has been a dream partner of ours as well, and I really look forward to continuing our relationship and having huge Prime Days and Black Fridays and Cyber Mondays to come. So thank you so much.